In a race that has been anticipated for over a week's time, the Fisher Studios Truck Series returns, and it returns with a bang. It's Kentucky Speedway tonight for race 18 of the season as the Bluegrass 200 gets on its way for qualifying once again. Going to be 2 minutes and 36 seconds on the board for group qualifying for the first time this season as every driver gets their first few laps in, as time is already running out for qualifying to see who will grab the coveted pole position. I'm going to be your host of tonight's broadcast. Great to be aboard with you once again. Name is David Kreutz. Great to be alongside all our viewers as we get this one going. We've got a field of 9 drivers here tonight, and we'll see which one of them is able to get it done for a victory. Many drivers returning for the first time in quite a while. We've got one brand new driver as well, so we've got veterans and some rookies looking to do battle as time runs out in qualifying. Going to be Vinny Tigner, the top man so far in your pursuit of the pole. Now going to be Carter Casey by 31 thousandths of a second. And going to be just under that, going to come out to 29 1,000th. Casey going to put it down to the apron and call it a run as Rick Spencer Walt now going to be in the 4th spot right behind James Thurston, and that's going to be Kyle Jackson in the 3rd spot with Jordan Parker fading down to 6th. Alec Daffin going to be in position number 7 and Michael Deitch going to be in 8th, so it looks like right now only one driver who's not gone on the track. That's Landon Charlo, and Landon going to be starting 9th if he does not make a run here in qualifying based on iRacing calculations. 6 drivers with a time lap right now. Going back to Jordan Parker, 3/10 off the pole. Rest of your field has gone for at least one, and they appear to be ready to go at it. Michael Deitch now going to be able to put 1 lap in his scoring position. He's going to be down in 8th at the moment, as now only Landon is the only driver who has not gone on the track at least once. 52 seconds remain for the number 44 machine as James Thurston goes up to the top of the board on debut. The 07 is a brand new driver, looking good already. James Thurston now going to be able to score provisional pole. Let's see how much longer he's able to hold on to just that. Going to be Alec Daffin now in 2nd and Vinny Tigner in 3rd. And it looks like your top 5 guys separated by only a 10th and then a 100th after that. Very close call in your timing and scoring so far as every driver looks to be competitive as the night goes on. 97 gonna back it down and back it in. James Thurston gonna be on your frame right now, and since we've only got 10 seconds left, we're gonna put your starting grid on your screen and get us ready for the Bluegrass 200. And the news just came to me, this will not be a 200-mile race anymore. It's going to be cut down to 170, so the lap total will be 113. So keep your eyes on the lap charts. A little bit less than what we expected going in to this one. With that being said, James Thurston still going around as the qualification phase of this event ends. 07 going to despawn from your screen, and we'll be getting ready for racing in just a few minutes time. James Thurston still going around through 3 and 4 as qualifying has 16 seconds until it does indeed conclude. 07 sees another driver go off its way. That's going to be Kyle Jackson in the wall, and now we've only got 3 drivers on the track due to become absolutely none. Qualifying is over, and just like that, our starting grid has been set. Kentucky Speedway might be dormant now, but getting ready to be as active as ever. Your drivers are now in their 5-minute warm-up stage, and we've got a bit of time to show you the drivers who line up on your starting grid. So without further ado, this is your starting lineup for tonight's event, race 18 of the Fisher Studios Truck Series. We've only got 3 races left, including this one, the championship battle heating up as the Bluegrass 200 gets on its way. Gonna be 9 drivers here tonight in the Bluegrass 200, first of which the brand new driver for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. It's the 07 of James Thurston with a 31.03 for his Ford F-150. Top spot on the board, and he's gonna going to be pole position by 32 one-thousandths of a second over Alec Daffin in the second spot. Daffin for Shaw Racing and Shaw Racing Products, number 48 machine Chevy Silverado going to be second outside row 1 with a 31.062. Near front row, only separated by 32 thousandths of a second. Look no further than Vinny Tigner, the third spot. Tigner making himself a hot favorite for the remainder of the season. Daffin right now only going to gap him by 12 one-thousandths of a second. Vinny Tigner and his number 99 Chevy Silverado going to be there in third inside row 2 with a 31.074, and his teammate in that number 1 machine, another GM Racing driver with the same font on the number, Carter Casey, 31.079, only behind as the number on his side would say 1,000th of a second. Going to be outside of the second row in the fourth spot as it's Rick Spencer Walt in the top 5. Inside row 3 for the 97, returning once again. Has been a part-time schedule this season, but always a consistent driver nonetheless. Going to be Rick Spencer Walt, 97 machine, in the 5th spot with a 31.149, and then next to him, the X-Side Batteries throwback to Jeff Burton. Going to be Kyle Jackson, and his Chevy Silverado number 96 going to be outside of row number 3 in that 6th position with a 31.173. Right after Jackson, going to be your title sponsor for this league, it's Jordan Parker, owner of Fisher Studios. And the 65 going to line up 7th inside row 4 with a 31.286. Right beside him, final man with a time lap, Michael Deitch in the number 44. 4/10 off in the 7th spot will still put him in the grade 8 spot outside row 4 with a 31.67 as your number 69. The only other debutant in this race, Landon Charlo, starting 9th, and that will be the driver who rounds out your starting grid for the Bluegrass 200. 9 drivers. Let's get this one on the road in just a few minutes time. It's Jordan Parker on your screen right now as he continues to get some warm-up laps in, and he's one of the playoff drivers here looking for an outside shot to go all the way. We've got many guys here in the field that are still contending for the championship, most of which, as a matter of fact, are in the championship running. So with that being said, number 65 for Fisher Studio is going to run down the backstretch once more, looking to get himself ready, as now we've only got ourselves a minute and 44 seconds left of warm-up. 4 drivers have taken a time lap before the race has gotten on its way. Going back to Kyle Jackson right now is going to be on pit road. Carter Casey trying to put something on the board himself. Number 1 machine for World's Strongest Coffee, trying to put together a strong lap as he comes out of corner number 4, goes all the way down to the apron almost, and gets on his way. Kentucky Speedway, the mile-and-a-half circuit, of course, we've seen it in the NASCAR scene time and time again, has not been used in the real world since the coronavirus pandemic in 2020. However, despite the COVID pandemic, Kentucky Speedway does persist on iRacing. We have seen it, of course, been scanned through iRacing LiDAR technology, making its way onto the service in the most realistic rendition that possibly could be made. And with that being said, these drivers get a chance to take on this circuit like it is in the real world. Jordan Parker down at pit road. He's the fastest man on the board by 4 one-thousandths of a second right now. And Vinny Tigner now going to be on the way with 42 seconds remaining. Carter Casey going to come down to the stripe as well, but he's going to be on pit road when he does so. So now, very few drivers on their way. It looks like James Thurston might just be one of which. Thurston up high in the 07 machine, looking to make himself an early threat for this event. He's a brand new driver in this series, a debutant, but all the same, he's a very aggressive driver. We've seen him on this channel many times. The Iora Season 3 champion, one of the Final 4 last season in the 4-hole championship race. And right now, on Thursday night, he's tearing it up in the SCRL Cup Series, the premier series there on Puffer Zone Network. He is the leading rookie in the championship standings, but Jordan Parker is the leading man in your 5-minute warm-up. He's dialed it in very well, and the number 65 finds himself the fastest here in second practice. And Jordan Parker going to be gone from the track just like that. Now time to get your starting grid on your screen. Kentucky Speedway looking to get some action-packed driving. 170 miles worth at the very least as these drivers get ready to occupy pit road. James Thurston already there. He'll be right behind the iRacing official pace truck, and the rest of the field comes knocking as well. Looks like right now Thurston going to be alone up in front, but he's got all these drivers to worry about. He won't be alone for much longer. Strategy going to be a big part of this race. 113 laps, limited tire, limited fuel, and no fast repair. So you have to be especially careful if you're a driver in this league. There is no second chance from a mistake. The damage will just stay on you for the rest of the way. Last time we went racing at Texas, many drivers suffered from late race incidents. Notably, drivers like Aaron Brown caught up very late in the going, and it did lead to a big change of the way the race was ran. Alec Daffin, he's been the perennial bridesmaid all season long, it's felt like, and the number 48 looking to break through for his first win of the season. Has not been able to get it done. He's had 2 runner-up finishes in the playoffs so far, just not able to break through and take that checkered flag. The 48, one of the big storylines heading into the night. Whether or not he gets that first victory, it's all up to him. He's going to have to manifest his own destiny here tonight and try to make it happen here in Kentucky. Whether or not he's able to do so, we'll find out. Vinny Tigner running hot as well as of recent. Carter Casey, don't count him out. Many good drivers here looking to take a chance at victory lane. As we get ready to grab a gear, we've only got one driver we're waiting on. That's Carter Casey, and we'll be good to go the moment he's in the pit road with the rest of these drivers. We've got 2 brand new drivers in James Thurston and Landon Charlo. Then we've got Alec Daffin, Vinny Tigner, and Carter Casey, who are contenders in the championship race in succession. And then we go back to guys like Kyle Jackson and Jordan Parker, who are also fighting for that championship, but they're a little further back in the points running, looking for a miracle and perhaps a Hail Mary of a race as the pace truck gets ready to go this time by grabbing the gear, getting it out of neutral, and the rest of the field will follow as we get ready to go racing for 113 laps here in the Bluegrass 200. Thurston now going to be on his way, and Kentucky Speedway going to come alive. And it is time to get this one going. Including this event, we've got 3 races left on the season. The next one will be at Phoenix, and that will be on Saturday night. So not a lot of time in between the next few races. Of course, going to be Phoenix on Saturday, and then we head down to Homestead, Miami to finish off the season in style next Saturday night. All the excitement, it's been building up season long. It comes down to this final stretch, and if you're tuned in right now, you're not gonna miss anything as long as you stick with us live on FTN. 987 subscribers as we head into yet another round. If you enjoyed the broadcasting, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated as the drivers come through this time by. Every one of them know this could be the race that changes everything for their season. James Thurston looking to win on debut. We have not seen many drivers in the entire league's history in terms of being able to do that. It's almost incomparable to any other achievement. It is the magnum opus. He could reach it. Alec Daffin, a series veteran in his last full-time season, looking to get it done and snatch a win to go to the Final Four. Tigner, Casey, Jackson, and Jordan Parker, they're all championship contenders as well, looking for the exact same thing, a victory. Let's find out who gets it tonight here in Kentucky Speedway as the green flag's gonna drop for the Bluegrass 200, race 18 of the season. And coming out of corner number 4, it's going to be James Thurston up in front, settling the score very well. He'll lead the way for the first lap. Rest of the field stays right behind him. Going to be Alec Daffin in second and Vinny Tigner in position number 3. Every driver keeps this one going. And then going to be Carter Casey in fourth with Kyle Jackson in fifth. Now they're going to be going almost side by side. Tigner lays down low. Going to be Alex staying a bit up high. They're going to already be trying a few different lanes, making something happen. It looks like that's going to be the name of the game. James Thurston nonetheless going to lead the way, but it's going to be Alec Daffin diving down very early as he looks for lead already. Thurston, knowing he's on a bit of a time crunch. SCRL starts at 9:30, so Thurston's double-heading night. He's going to have to be flawless if he wants a chance to make it happen. However, he might know already time is running out. Now Vinny Tigner, another championship contender, goes right down low, and they'll be slicing and dicing all the way back to the line. Daffin's now got the edge. It's going to be James Thurston right there with Tigner as the rest of the field stays in line. Going back to Michael Deitch, he's going to be battling side by side now with Landon Charlo. Charlo going to let him right by as we get a perfect onboard shot, and it shows you exactly what's going on behind the leader. The Circle B die-cast machine going to be able to circle it in on the leaders. Now Landon Charlo goes down low to try to make a pass. He gets some room, not enough to be clear, and the battle persists up in front. Thurston lays up high, going to be Vinny Tigner right down low, and they'll be side by side heading now to lap number 5 out of 113. Carter Casey going to be position number 4, and Kyle Jackson going to be in 5th with Rick Spencer-Walt there in 6th. Parker, position number 7 for Fisher Studios, hangs tough, but he's not going to be in any pack right now in front of Deitch and Charlo, but behind your big 6 who remain up front. It looks like Thurston's now got a bit of an edge on Vinny Tigner, and now Thurston's got the opportunity to make that move and go right by. That's going to be the 07 machine up into 2nd, and Alec Daffin now leading the way. Number 48 machine's got a clean track right ahead as the clear skies ring down in Kentucky Speedway. Now for the drivers, they might know this more than any other viewer. We were experiencing some pretty cloudy skies before the race got on its way. Thankfully, over an hour's worth of time before the session goes from practice to race, so the fog cleared up eventually. Gotta thank the admin team for working that one out. Luckily, we've got a sunny sky to go off of as we get racing here in Kentucky, and Alec Daffin leads them all as they head down to lap number 7 this time through for the lucky number. This could be the lucky race for Alec Daffin. He's been looking to get that victory, but he's been twice stopped by Dylan Basin in his tracks. Basin has been absolutely the fastest driver in this league all of the playoffs. He's got 2 wins at Darlington and most recently at Texas. He has been incomparable. Every other driver trying to keep up with him. He has been the best of the best, and there's no need to test it. He's not here tonight, and it looks like now the playoff drivers get a chance to run the show. But James Thurston, keeping them honest, goes up high once again as he continues the battle with Vinny Tigner. And Vinny Tigner going to lay back a bit more that time by. It looks like Vinny getting really close to making something happen. Does not choose to go for it, thankfully. And it looks like we'll keep on racing in the green as a result. Thurston trying to save a bit more of the tire here, using that higher line, not turning in as much in the entries of corners, and that could play out as a benefit in the long run. However, not quite sure if these guys know exactly how these tires will work out. Tigner getting real close that time by, gets a bit antsy, and he's going to have to let James Thurston stay there and might be able to take that spot all the same. Now Vinny running off the backstretch, got a good run. He's got Carter Casey right down low. They're going to try to make it a 2 for 1, and the 99 leads them all in. 2 corners, 3 and 4. Thurston stays up high. Looks like he's going to just stick himself up there and wait for a chance to go at it once again. Remainder of the field stays in frame. Kyle Jackson fighting with Rick Spencer-Walt, and then we got a 3-car package. Jordan Parker's been shuffled back. Michael Deitch going to be now in 7th. It's going to be Landon Charlo in 8th. Nonetheless, drivers are battling throughout the field, and the leader is Alec Daffin. Now beginning to make gains and make them big. This could be the big night for Alec Daffin. He's been leading all season long, as Vinny's going to be in 2nd, and Carter Casey is going to be in 3rd. James Thurston's position number 4. Rick Spencer-Walt is in 5th. Top 5 separated by a 2.5 as we head down to lap number 11. Already, time is flying here in Kentucky, and Alec Daffin tried to make note of that very well. pit strategy might already be the biggest thought for all these drivers. Whether or not we see it come into play already, of course, that is not to be known by anyone besides the 9 on track. Estimations are it could be a 30 to 35 lap pit run, and then you have to come back down, resurface yourself, and it'll be about a 3-4 stop strategy. Might be able to work as a 3-stopper if you really play it well. It's going to be all about fuel efficiency as they come through lap after lap. Right now, the aggression going to be a bit more tame throughout the entirety of the field, save for Landon Charlo. Charlo goes down low that time by. He'll try to make it work on Michael Deitch. Does not get the pass. However, he's pretty close, so don't let up. Might be the mentality for the 69 as he stays right in the back bumper of that number 44. Not going to be beating and banging just yet, but now Deitch goes a bit up higher. That gives room to Landon if he wants to make it down low without losing as much speed. Charlo's down low once again, and Michael Deitch goes there with them. No action when it comes to these two right now, but they are pretty close. We'll keep an eye on Landon and Deitch as they continue to race. 69 machine, brand new to this league and currently running in 8th. Your other debutant going to be hanging tough there in the 4th spot. That's James Thurston in the 07, and 13 laps in, he finds himself right behind Carter Casey and Vinny Tigner, who are now 2nd and 3rd, with Tigner leading the pair in succession. Alec Daffin going to be leading the way right now, but it looks like the gap is getting to be a bit smaller. That time through, Tigner gained 0.3 of a second on Alec Daffin. It was a 32.911 for Daffin and a 32.656 for Vinny. So Tigner is fast, and it looks to be the fastest man on the track. That time by might be able to stay in the slipstream here and gain even more. The 99 looking good so far, and it might be able to go all the way if he just keeps this pace as the race goes on. Looking for win number 2 on the season, Vinny Tigner trying to steal that maiden win away from Alec Daffin, and these were battled many times this season. Top 3 drivers are playoff contenders looking for a final 4 spot. Then you go back to James Thurston, who's going to be in 4th. He's not a contender in the championship battle. He is a rookie. Then we get guys like the veterans of Rick Spencer-Walt and Kyle Jackson this season. Jackson's a rookie who's made a good majority of the starts this year. Been around for quite a long portion of this season indeed. Then we got Michael Deitch, a rookie this season as well. Landon Charlo, a debutant, and Jordan Parker, the final man on the track, now chasing down Charlo in record time. And while the front of the field might be a bit quieter than usual, it is Jordan Parker out in front right now, looking real good to maybe make a pass happen here for 8th. Landon Charlo is defending right now, but we'll see how much longer he's able to hang on. That number 65 has been coming in closer and closer lap after lap and making gains when he can. That time by was about a 1/10 of a second faster than the man in that number 69. So these two are becoming a much closer pair, and it might be the 65 with the advantage as the run goes on, and the same would go for Vinny Tigner. Tigner's looking real good right now in his battle. The 99 machine runs it down the backstretch once again with even more speed than before. However, he only gained 1/100th of a second on that lap. It's good enough for a gain, so he will take it. Good stuff so far up in front for these drivers, and it's Alec Daffin who still leads the way. Not too far behind though, it's Vinny Tigner looking to stay in the mix. Now Charlo and Jordan Parker fading off the track's pace for the most part. Very far back. Last time by, they were about a few 1/10 of a second slower than your leaders. It looks like the top 6 drivers, 5 of which are within the 33.1 range still. Now Charlo and Parker are within the 33.8 range, but they're still battling tough for a top 10 spot. Not giving up, either of them are, as they keep on going. 18 laps in out of 113, make it 19, and Daffin now building a bit of an edge. That time by, he was about a 1/10 of a second faster, and while Alec Daffin did give a lot up on that short run, it might be able to come back to him on the long run. He will make his gains when they are necessary. Now as the run gets a bit longer, the 48 machine trying to stretch out that lead. Vinny Tigner just trying to keep in touching distance as Carter Casey fades back to about a second's worth away from your leading driver. 19 through, they're spread out pretty big. 3 pairs of 2 cars each. Then you got to go back to the back of the field where we got some action. It's Charlo and Parker who looked real close that time by. Nothing comes of it though. And now they'll keep on going. Landon Charlo does gain that time by on Jordan Parker. So maybe there won't be a pass, and Landon has regained his footing. We'll see whether or not that's going to be permanent, as now Vinny Tigner closes back in. Once again, it has been in the game of inches for each and every one of these drivers in the top 3, but for the top 2 especially, it has been all about precision. Daffin up in front, and that number 48 machine has to be perfect to keep it going. He has to wiggle that time by. That's going to be nasty, as the 99 gains a bit more once again. Now Vinny Tigner's got a chance to be very close off the backstretch and through corner exit once more. He's going to be good to go to get that one going, and it looks like he's going to go for it. Tigner on the back bumper, very close. Take a look off the rear end for Alec Daffin. It is striking distance now. The 48 machine is getting pressured and getting pressured big. Vinny Tigner now down on the lower portion of the circuit, almost below the apron. He'll stay a bit higher, then dive a bit lower and try to wear Daffin up on the entries. That time by Alec did drive it a bit further into the entrance of the corner. Vinny Tigner gets him back on the exit, and they're going to be playing that cat and mouse game as long as they can. Carter Casey going to be there in 3rd. James Thurston going to be in 4th. Rick Spencer Walk going to be in 5th. And Kyle Jackson going to be in 6th. Top 6 guys going to remain in those spots in succession. Now Michael Deitch going to be in the 7th spot. And Landon Charlo going to be in 8th, with Jordan Parker down in 9th. 23 laps in, and Daffin still got himself the lead, but not by all too much. Vinny Tigner hanging tough there, going to be in the 2nd spot. Top 2 drivers separated by 15 hundredths of a second, and as they work down the backstretch once again, Vinny's got himself a real good shot to make it work in that number 99. 13 tenths of a second, led by the Italic Daffin machine. Vinny Tigner keeping it a very fair race up front. Carter Casey, though, now has some pressure from James Thurston, and well, it looked like for a little while there, Thurston was going to let off the power and let these guys go by. It looks like he's back in the racing spirit. He'll get by Casey that time through, and now Thurston, your rookie of the race, finds himself back in the podium once again. Now going to be passed on the backstretch. It's going to be Carter Casey going to switch him over, and Thurston, who's no stranger to the high line, will be able to use it effectively. The 07's got a good shot to make it work, and that he does. Momentum carries him as Carter Casey's down a pit road. Your first competitive pit stop of the night. Just like that, Carter Casey down and in. Drivers going by, but only one going to make it in. That is Casey, and now down on pit road. Pit speed of 50 miles an hour. He'll test it out first for the rest of your field. Casey's in, and just like that, James Thurston goes up in a 3rd. Rick Spencer Walk now going to be in 4th, and 25 laps in, we're already considering our pit stops and our pit strategy, as the leaders now are going to have that in the back of their minds, and it might be approaching the front slowly but surely. Daffin leads the way. Vinny Tigner going to be in 2nd, and James Thurston's going to be in 3rd. As we keep it going now, going to be Deitch going in this time by. Michael Deitch is through, and Jordan Parker looks to escape it that time by. Parker's going to be on his way. Michael Deitch going to be on pit road. 2 drivers in, 26 laps through. And just like that, we might see the way of the strategy so far. Looks to be about a 3-stop race if they can stretch it any longer. Daffin looking to stretch it, so is Vinny. James Thurston, though, going to hang tough in 3rd, waiting for an opportunity later on the going. Now, Texas, we saw our most recent race was the Texas Motor Speedway. Over 100 laps of green flag racing, and then at the very end, we saw a caution with less than 10 laps remaining. If you make it down to the final stretch, you've got a shot to win. That's how it always is in the Stock Car Racing League. Very competitive drivers. Your top 3, as a matter of fact, have an average iRating of 5,500. That's how good these guys are up in front. Some of the best in the business in trucking on iRacing in its entirety. We've seen some of the best be in this league before, such as Jordan Kuntz and Lane Graves, and guys like Daffin, Tigner, and Thurston are not slouches at all. 27 laps in, Landon Charlo comes in this time by. That leaves us now with only 6 drivers who have not gone on pit road. just yet. Daffin going to be the first of which to come down on pit road if, of course, he does make it this time by. That he does not. He will avoid it once again, trying to stretch his run to lap number 30. Looks to be the way he's going to go for it. Rest of the field still looks to be following him. And Jordan Parker, now the last man on that strategy, keeping his truck on the way in that number 65 machine. Jordan Parker gets it by the start-finish line that time by without going down to pit road. Every driver has experienced fall-off of more than 2 seconds. Last time by, your leader ran a lap of a 33.46, and his all-time best lap is a 31.46 in this session. So 2 seconds of tire fall off seen in 30 laps is unfathomable. As James Thurston comes down to pit road, he'll be yet another driver down in this time by. It looks like that 07 machine getting ready for his first stop in this league as he makes his way down and in. Alec Daffin, the man who leads the way right now, though. Vinny Tigner still in his back bumper, about a quarter of a second adrift, with Rick Spencer-Walt in third. Kyle Jackson going to be fourth, and Jordan Parker in fifth as James Thurston retires from the race. Looks like he's done a bit early on the night. Landon is going to be another man who's off the lead lap. Landon now going to be in the 9th spot, 2 laps down, and Charlo's got a long way to go if he wants to make it back to the lead lap. Might need a yellow or two as the leaders are coming back to him once again. Looks like competition going to be heating up for not only the lead, but for the ability to even stay on the lead lap. Time is running out for each and every one of these drivers up and down the field. They're working real well. Vinny Tigner going to be in second, and Rick Spencer-Walt going to be in third. Kyle Jackson going to be in fourth, and Jordan Parker is going to be in fifth. Carter Casey, position number 6, 1 lap down, and Michael Deitch is 1 lap down as well. He is in 7th, going back now to Landon Charlo, the final man racing, who's 2 laps down. 32 laps in out of 113, and these drivers are still booking. Daffin has yet to go down to pit road 32 laps in. He's looking to stay out a bit longer than the quarter-way marker. Trying to go a third of the race without going down to pit road might be the move for your man in the number 48. And side by side, going to be Vinny Tigner now with the number 1. Carter Casey blazes by, and now Casey's got himself a move into the 6th spot. 1 lap down, but he is quicker. And this is the difference in tire. Carter Casey on a 7-lap old stint will blaze by Alec Daffin just like this. Take a look. Into the corner, they were coming at a dead even side-by-side pace. Carter Casey just blitzed him. He's on his way, and that's the signal for Daffin to come down and in. Vinny Tigner does as well, and finally, so does Kyle Jackson. So Alec Daffin going to be the first man of this 3-car pack to come through. His rival in this race, Vinny Tigner, does as well. And now we're watching along for your speeds on pit road. Not just, of course, the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, but whoever the fastest man is on the track on pit road might gain big time in terms of strategy. Fastest pit speed so far, overall stop time, was a 43.2 ran by Carter Casey. He spent 14.5 seconds in his pit box, and while that was a slower time than Michael Deitch, he was 0.6 of a second faster entering and leaving his pit box, able to gain some time back on Deitch in his overall 43.8 run on pit road. So keeping that in mind, Alec Daffin going to drop down to 43.3, and now going to be on his way, and he'll be scored 1 lap down. Looks like strategy going to be a very, very divisive show as the number 48 gets back on his way, looking to do battle once again. Now, Vinny Tigner going to be a bit further back as he dropped a 44-1, so he'll lose time. Your fastest 2 on pit road go as follows. Carter Casey and Alec Daffin, with Rick Spencer-Walt having the final chance to usurp the both of them and perhaps be the fastest man on pit road for your first run of stops. Now, we've seen drivers win or lose races based on pit speed time on a green flag run. If you can stretch that extra 1/10 of a second out of pit road, you might come home a winner on any given night. Daffin gets a good run off pit road, that's for certain, but he's going to now be a bit further off where he'd like to be. Now, it looks like Carter Casey going to be the leader of the race as Alec Daffin now scored only 9 seconds back, and he's got himself a 10-lap fresher set of tire, and the difference in tire going to be major. Rick Spencer-Walt stretching himself to 36 laps apiece. That's going to be a very Risky strategy, but he's got a chance to make it. We'll update you on how the strategies all work out as the night goes on. 36 laps through, Carter Casey finds himself up in front for World's Strongest Coffee, and 8 seconds back now it's Alex Daffin working his way through turn 3 and 4 here in Kentucky Speedway. The 18th race of the season sees the championship battle rage on once again, and this could be the best opportunity all season long that Alex Daffin's gotten at winning a race. Daffin, who's been a competitor each and every night of asking, has simply not been able to break through for the checkered flag just yet. His best finish has been a second position many times over, and for the perennial bridesmaid, tonight would be a fitting way to break through and make himself a driver in the championship for certain. He is, as it stands, one of the drivers in the Final Four based on points and his consistency, but locking himself in will be all the momentum he needs to go all the way for a championship run of the unpredictable. In his final few races as a full-time driver, this could be the perfect ending to a swan song run for your number 48, Carter Casey. He's looking for a championship as well, and he's now up by only 6 seconds, and time running out on him as the leader. Carter Casey, no stranger to alternate strategies after his win at Talladega. He's been playing it a bit more on the experimental side race after race, trying to figure out what could possibly be the best strategy to run in any given night. Casey right now in that number 1 machine leads the way, but he knows that he's got a much older tire set. It would be unrealistic to hold on to lead for much longer, at least without a fight. Getting some laps led, trying to get those bonus points before Alex Daffin gets them right back. That's the game plan for him right now. At 14 laps in his run, he's got not much more than 20 laps until he comes down to pit road once again to get a fresh set and get the advantage over the drivers he's racing against once more. Vinny Tigner was 0.2 of a second away from Alex Daffin at the very start of this race. Now finds himself way back. He's 2.4 seconds off. That number 99 machine is on Alex Daffin. And Kenny Real in chat right now asking what happened to James Thurston. Well, as far as we are aware, James Thurston retiring early because he's got a race in the SCRL Premier Series, and the caution's out for the first time, and I'm not quite sure who it's for. Looks like it might be Landon Charlo, but Charlo already disconnected, so we're not quite sure. Give us just a moment to find out right now. Taking an FTN instant replay doesn't give us much a lead, and it looks like Charlo in the 69 machine comes up the track. He's in a bit of trouble. However, he parks it into the wall, and that might have been your caution nonetheless. And the number 69 on pit road, a retiree, and that is apparently what brings out your first yellow. Landon Charlo, who backs it into the infield wall, brings out yellow flag number 1, and 41 laps in, pit strategy has been given a wrench in the equation, and I'll have to agree, Kenny, I think Carter Casey just caught himself a big break, and it looks like the entire field will follow him down, save for the number 65 machine of Jordan Parker, who wants to be right back on that lead lap. 41 laps in, and we've got ourselves a 7-truck race, and it's going to be all 7 of which back in the lead lap. Casey going to lead him down to pit road as we find ourselves on pit road for the second time tonight. Now the drivers coming through your pit exit camera going to be showing there. It's going to be all of that 4 tires and fuel. Looks like every driver playing the exact same cards right now. I'm not trying to risk it. Alex Daffin going to be able to get that victory off pit road, running off first. And following him, it looks to be Carter Casey, far and away ahead of then Vinny Tigner, Kyle Jackson, not too far behind. Finally, of this bunch, it looks to be then Michael Deitch, Rick Spencer Walker to be following not too far after, and Jordan Parker, still on the track, will apparently come down to pit road next time by, as he now finds himself caught back up with your lead lappers. 42 laps in, it's Alex Daffin who leads the way in that number 48, and Carter Casey, not too far behind, finds himself there in second. The Bluegrass 200 has gone quite far already. 42 laps in, and we've seen ourselves some big time action and some big time strategy tonight. We've still got a long ways to go to find out whether or not chaos will break through, or will it be all about the strategy that we've seen race after race for just about the entire season. Which of those factors will play the best and the biggest That all remains to be seen. Alec Daffin in the number 48 machine leads the way. 42 laps in, Carter Casey going to be in second, and then Kyle Jackson looking to be scored in fourth. A bit of a jumble right now. Vinny Tigner would be in third. 2 laps remaining on your pacing as your first yellow of the night comes out 43 laps in for Landon Charlo. Charlo has disconnected from the session. We've got 7 drivers going at it now, going back to Jordan Parker. Parker, at the moment, however, is on pit road, getting himself all the service he needs to get back with the pack on a competitive basis, and he'll be back with them momentarily. He just exited pit road, and it looks like he spent a total of just over 36 seconds. It's going to be 37 seconds flat for the number 65. Pretty good pit stop overall. Might not be a full tank of fuel, but he'll be good to go nonetheless. And now as your field comes down the backstretch, 43 laps in, drivers are already beginning to think about what the next move is. The odds of us getting another yellow are going to be pretty slim given the lack of the field size. However, we have seen some pretty unpredictable racing this season, and we have seen it as of recent. Today, of course, Texas, very few drivers coming down to the end of that event. A multi-car wreck brings out the yellow flag, so you've got to prepare for everything you possibly can prepare for, and the big thing might be trying to keep a set of tire at the very end of the race. Now, that might of course be a bit too risky for these drivers because there is a very slim chance for a yellow, but in the case we got yet another, it might be best to have one more set in your back pocket and perhaps go for gold at the very end of the race. Alec Daffin down low. He'll be starting up in the first spot here with a Carter Casey machine right there in second. 44 laps in, and the field is bunched up and bunched in once more. 7 drivers looking to go up back at it once again, and the pace truck gonna lead them round here in Kentucky as lap number 45 will let them go back green once again to get this race back on the way. World's Strongest Coffee up in front. Alec Daffin for Shaw Racing Products right there as well. Kyle Jackson going to be in third, looking for his first career podium. And Vinny Tigner looking to return to victory lane in his own right. We've got many of the best in the business here still looking to do battle. And every one of them has a shot to come home in victory lane. The pace truck working its way down the backstretch. We've only seen it twice tonight. This is for the first yellow flag cause and the first restart not too much long after. They'll come through 3 and 4 once again. Daffin and Casey getting ready to do battle, and the number 48 will let them loose as the pace truck lets them go. And it's going to be all about the rest of this one, be it a yellow flag or 2 until the end, or a strategic warfare until the checkered flag falls. Now the iRacing official pace car comes through. It's going to be Alec Daffin there in first and Carter Casey in second. Let's get right back at it here now. The Bluegrass 200 back on the way with the first race of the night, led by Alec Daffin. And Alec Daffin going to be out in front in that number 48 with Carter Casey right there in second. Going to be Vinny Tigner position number 3. Every driver up front continues to race here. No big trouble for them as Casey now finds himself on the back end of that number 1. You know, another driver this might be a big reset for, I think it's got to be that number 99 for GM Racing. It's Vinny Tigner and his number 99 machine now back in the 3rd spot. When that first run was on its way and they were running their course, Tigner might have been the fastest man, bar Alec Daffin, and Daffin getting ruffled up again. Number 48 machine got a bit of trouble. Tigner now going to go for the lead if he can chase down Carter Casey, because now Casey's got himself the top spot. Number 1 machine finds himself out in front with Alec Daffin still side by side right there with him. Side by side the 2 drivers go. The 48 going to remain up high, and it's going to be Carter Casey holding down low. Double foul to keep it Silverado on Silverado, and they're going to be coming through for lap number 47 just like that. Tigner going to be in 3rd, and Kyle Jackson going to be in 4th. Michael Deitch not too far behind now in 5th. Every driver on a level playing field here, and since they all have a new set of Goodyear rubber, they might be able to battle even more with aggression than than what we saw before. Carter Casey running it down, and in that number 1 machine, finding himself another nice run. He now has a move up to the high side of the circuit. Number 1 machine out in front. That's going to be Carter Casey leading the way, with Vinny Tigner not too far behind there in second. Alec Daffin going to be there in third, and it's going to be Kyle Jackson in fourth, and position number 5 going to be Michael Deitch. Every one of the top 5 still right there for the taking. It's Michael Deitch now making gains here on Kyle Jackson, and he'll be looking right down low as that number 96 machine now going to have to work for it. It's Michael Deitch looking for fourth, trying to get his first career podium in this league. Could this happen tonight? If it all works out, maybe the number 44 finds himself a first-time podium sitter. That remains to be seen. Working their way down the backstretch. It's the number 44 machine in fifth, but Vinny Tigner now going to be in first. And Tigner, as we mentioned, knocking on the door of your leader before, now finds himself up in front. 99 has himself in the race lead. 99 and 1 make it all complete in the first 2 spots. Then going to be Alec Daffin there in third, and Kyle Jackson fourth as they make their way to lap number 50. 50 laps in, Tigner there in the 99, and we keep it rolling with Carter Casey not too far behind his teammate up in front. Now Daffin fading a bit further back there in third, and Kyle Jackson getting raced real hard by that number 44 in Michael Deitch. Now we got ourselves a big shuffle up in the front of the field. It's going to be Vinny Tigner who does lead the way, and the rest of the field is battling fiercely. Alec Daffin now getting pressured for the third spot. Kyle Jackson going to go and try to take it from him, and just like that he does. Jackson now finds himself in the podium places, and Alec Daffin now finds himself battling to stay in the top 5. Michael Deitch now going to be looking for the 5th spot, and he's looking for the 4th. As Deitch stays right back there, he can make the move, and he can make it real quick. And he lays back for now, but it might be a sign of things to come as the number 44 looks quicker and quicker. Now Carter Casey in the back bumper of his team, the 99 and the number 1 coming to the line in succession. Nobody with them right now. They got a chance to break even further and go for the win in separation, isolating themselves from the field. It's Tigner out in front and first, then Carter Casey in second, and then Kyle Jackson there in third. 52 laps in. The top 3 drivers within 0.8 of a second. Your top 2 within only 3 truck lengths. It's going to be a truck now of air separating both of them. The 99 still has that advantage, but not by all too much. The draft is still carrying Carter Casey and carrying him very well. 53 through. It's going to be the number 1 machine still on that tail. And 11 laps into this stint, we might see another pit cycle at about the lap number 75 marker. So keep an eye on those drivers. And when they come down to pit road, the money stop might be the next stop. The way things are going, 75 laps in out of 113 would only leave them about 30 more laps until the race is over. So this could be a 4-stopper the way things are going. We've seen 2 pit stops already. Maybe it'll be even a 3-stopper if they choose to go to lap 113. That remains to be seen as the 54th lap is now on its way. Tigner getting a bit of an edge right now, holding on a bit stronger on Carter Casey. Kyle Jackson now going to hold on tough in third with Michael Deitch fourth. And Michael Deitch up at the wall. Big time hit. Now going to be yellow flag in the second. Caution falls as Michael Deitch gets sent right up the track by the number 48 of Alec Daffin. And just like that, we've got ourselves the second yellow of the night. Michael Deitch destroyed in that one. Let's take an FTN instant replay and find out just why this one happened. Deitch going to go up high, trying to make the move. And Daffin not going to be happy about that one. Alec Daffin gets washed up high. Then it looks like Daffin goes down low, and the 48 stays a bit higher, and the 44 finds itself as the big loser of the equation. And now going to be down on pit road as we send it back to your live feed. Michael Deitch down and maybe out after that incident as 55 laps in. The Bluegrass 200 has seen 2 yellow flags already as we come around to your halfway mark next time by. This time through, we'll make it lap number 56, and the drivers come down to pit road once again, and just as we expected, a longer run will stay on the short ones as the drivers in the Stock Car Racing League come down to pit road once again. We've got ourselves another battle on strategy. Carter Casey looks to stay out. Rest of your field choosing to go down and in. Just like that, 56 laps of racing and 58 laps remaining. So we'll be past the halfway point by the time we go racing under green again. Michael Deitch already going to be signaled 2 laps down, which may leave us with 6 drivers in the lead lap. Vinny Tigner wins off pit road, going to be able to best Kyle Jackson, and then after him, it might be Alec Daffin, and that it is. Daffin going to be able to get running, and then going to be Rick Spencer-Walt. Finally, Jordan Parker with them as Michael Deitch remains on pit road following that incident. Michael Deitch going to be there on his lonesome. The engine has some major damage and the hood has been popped off. It is Carter Casey, nonetheless, leads the way as we come around to lap number 57 as we have 57 laps to go at that point. And the number 1 of Carter Casey finds himself in the top spot. Going to be Vinny Tigner there in second, and then Kyle Jackson in third. Position number 4, there it is, Alec Daffin. Every driver still in the taking of it is going to be bunched up once again, even closer than before, and this could be a miracle for some drivers. We're much better on that long run. Vinny Tigner has been looking real good. Gets a chance to start up on the front row once again. Carter Casey was yet to go down to pit road on this run, stays out on the circuit, and with 1 lap till green, that looks to be the move he's going to stick with as Michael Deitch goes down 3. Now going to be 3 laps down with 57 laps remaining. We have hit the halfway point here at Kentucky Speedway. That means only half of this one is remaining. Simple as that. We'll see how simple these drivers make it. Jordan Parker on pace, as he said in the chat for Fisher Studios, a career best finish in the 6th spot. If Michael Deitch does not come back, it would be the closest Parker has finished to a top 5 in his career so far as a rookie this season, and the rookies running well so far. Those that remain, Kyle Jackson's 3rd. It is Jordan Parker in a 6th. 6 drivers remain with 57 laps to go, and they're going to make this one as exciting as it can get. We head back down to the start-finish line at lap 58 with 56 remaining. You've seen one half of this one already. Get ready to see the next. It's going to be the second half of action here in Kentucky Speedway with the 99 and 1 out in front, making things whole. It is the GM Racing crew up there in the top 2. Kyle Jackson not too far behind in 3rd, and Alec Daffin right there as well in 4th. Let's get it done this time by 57 becomes 56 laps to go as the second restart of the night comes back at us with the second half of racing here in the Bluegrass 200. And now it's going to be the number 1 machine of Carter Casey who leads the way in that Chevy Silverado for World's Strongest Coffee. Kyle Jackson going to be fighting side by side there for second. 5 drivers still going to be close in frame here. We've got a good battle for lead. It's going to be Alec Daffin. Now down low, down to the apron. Daffin makes it stick. They're going to be 3 wide for the race lead. And just like that, Alex got himself a good shot to go all the way. He now makes it work. What a move that was. Alec Daffin goes to the apron for a 3-wide pass, and he gets it to stick. Phenomenal driving there, and he leaves the field in the dust. Now going to be Jordan Parker fighting for a top 5. He's going to right there with GM Racing boys. Every driver now on the same pace, getting better and better each time through. Parker looking to replicate that maneuver, but no draft going to take him down and in. So Jackson going to stay there in 3rd, and now Rick Spencer-Walt able to break away for 2nd. How about this for the most quiet man in this race so far. Rick Spencer Wall in that number 97 has been running very well tonight, but we have not mentioned him all too much. A part-time driver known best for his exploits in strategy. When things work out his way, they work out quite well. So it looks like he's been able to make something connect tonight, and that's what's kept him in contention as the night's gone on. The battle is fierce right now. Jordan Parker fighting in the fourth spot. He's got himself real close to Kyle Jackson and Vinny Tigner as well. Tigner's now behind him. Jackson might be in this pace. It looks like Jordan Parker gets it in to that fourth spot. How about that for the number 65? Jordan Parker now one spot behind the podium. Rick Spencer Wall going to be in second. It is a night of the underdogs here as Alec Daffin, the biggest underdog of all the big championship contenders, still looking for win number 1 on the season. And Daffin now working his way down with 52 laps to go. Time is running out for the man up in front. This number 48 machine knows there's still a chance to make things happen. He's just got to keep himself up in front and keep the eyes on the road if he wants to make it down with a checkered flag for the first time this season. He might be some of the biggest competition for any driver in this league, but he has simply not been able to make it happen for a victory in the league overall. He's gotten close to those runner-up finishes, those podiums, those top fives, but a win would erase all the heartbreak of the season and moreover send him in with a head full of steam, momentum at the penultimate round in Phoenix. It is all that he needs as the championship battle all comes down to the big night in Homestead Miami Speedway. He's got to make it happen here tonight if he wants to make it in safely. There's still a spot to be chased as the Knights wind down to the final opportunity. The regular season, it ended weeks and weeks ago, but the final chance to make it to the Final Four, it's going to be in only 2 days' time from this point onward. It's going to be Saturday night, 8:10 Eastern. Mark your calendars, set the clocks. You're going to not want to miss that one. It might be the most anticipated race of the season, bar the championship finale in itself. Daffin leads the way, Rick Spencer Wall is there in second, and Jordan Parker is in third with Carter Casey, position number 4. Right now, Jordan Parker running absolutely as well as it gets. This could be a podium finish on pace, something he was not expecting at all. 49 laps remaining for the underdog driver in that number 65 and the league sponsor for Fisher Studios, and what a way to break out of a slump for this number 65. It looked like it was not going to be able to make the rest of the season, but now things are looking better to at least make a few more runs into the season ends, and the 65 with one last shot to get it done now finds himself breaking away in the podium, working very well so far and pushing as hard as he can to stay with those leaders while Tigner, Casey, and Jackson battle each other very hard in the back of the field, not making enough time at all to get back to your leaders. Daffin and Rick Spencer Wall out in front, 66 laps in out of 113. And not much more can be said about the run Alec Daffin is having. He has been the best driver. Case closed all night long. Whether or not he was able to get it done as the winner, it would all be down to his execution. This is the night he's been long anticipating, as we had to have a delay of this event from last Saturday to tonight, as we have a weekend doubleheader of sorts. 2 races this weekend, and the first race this league has ran all season on a Thursday night. Of course, here am now. So witnessing history, Alec Daffin on the first Thursday night race of this Saturday Night League, looking to get it done and break some boundaries, as with 46 laps to go, it is the unpredictable. But Rick Spencer Wall also looking for a first time win in his own right there with them. They're only separated by only just about 0.2 of a second. Margins are slim as the laps continue to wind down. 68 through, Rick Spencer Wall's right there. Jordan Parker finds himself in position number 3, and then the battle rages on right behind Carter Casey. Casey losing time and losing it big as he's on a much older set of tire, and these drivers are waiting as long as they can to go until their next pit stop. While Carter Casey's on a much older set, he is absolutely about as quick as Jordan Parker, only a few tenths of a second off, and that goes to show how the curve of the tire wear sort of flattens out. Alec Daffin last time by ran a 32.702 in his 69th lap. It's a nice lap, that's for sure, but if you look back to Carter Casey, he's on a stint that's double the age. He only ran half a second slower with a 33.244. So with 45 laps to go, the tire wear does begin to sort of flatten off, so to speak. But for Rick Spencer-Wald, he is not flattening off at all. This number 97 is running as hot as he can. This might be his only chance at a win in his own right, and he knows that he's got to take it if he's going to get one. Barreling down the backstretch at over 170 miles an hour. He's got himself right mid-tow with Alec Daffin. Top two drivers breaking away, but it might not be a big enough breakaway for that number 97 as Rick Spencer-Wald works his way down the stretch again, and 43 remain. And it looks like Alec Daffin still being kept very honest. These two now 15 laps into this run, still have about 20 to go until they come down to pit road, so they've got a ways to go until they have any time to panic. They'll just keep on driving until that point comes on the map. It's going to be Carter Casey, though, who has to panic a bit sooner about coming down to pit road. He's had himself on the track for 29 laps on this stint. That's the longest out of any driver currently on the circuit by a wide margin of over 12 laps. He's got over a dozen in every driver in this field, so he's in a bit of a dicier predicament. If he wants to go all the way, he's got to think about how much longer he can go on this run alone. Up and down throughout the night, we have seen some phenomenal racing, and it looks like Vinny Tigner now trying to battle his teammate. He's right there on that back bumper. Vinny Tigner going to take the leap of faith and go down low. He'll make it work now, and it's going to be Carter Casey beginning to fade back, getting some pushback from his teammate for the first time in this run. It looks like Casey does hang on, at least for now. Vinny Tigner showing signs perhaps of slight impatience. We'll see how much longer that works out for the man in that number 99 machine as he stays right behind, at least for the time being, waiting slowly but surely for time to pass. And he'll have to see his teammate come down a pit road before him. Alec Daffin gains a few tenths of a second, now almost a half a second up on the man in that number 97. And Rick Spencer-Wald now 4 tenths adrift, very close to making something happen, and just like that, the 48's man would break away once again. It's what separates the good from the best here. Alec Daffin, always a week-by-week contender, and he's using every trick in the book to make this one happen. Looking for a win no matter what. Tonight could be the night he breaks out in dominating fashion. And what better way for Alec Daffin to do so, as he's been waiting for a win oh so long throughout the season. He's got himself an edge right now. He's got himself a good one. 39 laps remaining. And Jordan Parker still is 4 seconds up on Carter Casey here. Casey hanging back just about dead even that time by on pace. These drivers are still laying back here, waiting for time to run out. And as time does run out, it is Carter Casey there in 4th, Vinny Tigner in 5th, and Kyle Jackson in 6th. Still looking for the next pit stop to be their saving grace. Daffin with 39 remaining, though 75 laps in, is your leader, and he'll take him down once again, making it 38. It's been contentious all night long here in Kentucky. Every driver here still fighting for all that they've got. And all these drivers, of course, know one thing. Tire strategy in this league is always a very, very big factor. If you can't make it work on your strategy, you've got an awful lot of problems here. And with the tire limit that we have in this league, which I believe is 3 for the night, you've got to make sure your rubber does not wear out before the checkered flag falls, or at least before about the 5 lap to go mark. You got to have a little bit more in the tank until it's all over. Just like that, Daffin's got himself a lead. Rick Spencer-Wald's there in 2nd. It's Jordan Parker still in 3rd, still up in front of Vinny Tigner by just about 4 seconds. 37 laps remain here in Kentucky as Alec Daffin leads the way. Rick Spencer-Wald hanging tough there in 2nd. And Alec Daffin now sees once again Rick Spencer-Wald on that back bumper, 1/10 of a second, even less than that time through. What looked to be a bit of a gap has become that much shorter, and the 97 now finds himself in close contention to make it happen all over again. Working down the backstretch, Rick Spencer Walt only separate now by 0.2 of a second. The gap might be fluctuating, but it's in the favor of the 97 most often than not. Alec Daffin, who knows this, will have to begin to adapt to something and try to make it work to get a bit of a gap. That time by, he'll just keep it dead even. But down that front stretch, Spencer Walt continues to build more and more speed and momentum that might be dangerous as the night continues for this number 48. Daffin does keep himself in the lead, but at least for the time being, it works out. Maybe it won't the way that things are going. We'll just have to find out whether or not it is all long-term or short-term for that number 97. 23 laps into his run. He's got himself only just about 10 laps until the pit cycle is back on its way. And Alec Daffin got himself the exact same distance. Carter Casey running the longest stint in this race so far, a 37-lap run. And he might be trying to hang on until the very final lap he can. Not going to worry about tire. He'll be working out fuel strategy, and working the fuel numbers might be the most important thing for him. How about this? The longest run in this race. It's been 38 laps already, and it is still going and growing. The number one machine, Carter Casey, knows no bounds so far, and he'll keep himself honest as they continue to work down with only 33 laps remaining. 81 in out of 113. Alec Daffin wants to secure the deal for the first time this season. He's got a shot to do just that. Out in front, not by much, but he's got himself all he needs. Alec Daffin with a 0.3 of a second advantage leads the way, with Rick Spencer Walt not too far behind, and then Jordan Parker there in third. Parker is still ahead of Vinny Tigner, but now by only about 2 seconds worth. They're unleashing the pace they've got on that number 65. Parker pushed very early, and now it's about 0.2 of a second slower each and every lap, in and out now, as Carter Casey does end his run, and he spins it. He's not going to make it a pit road. Carter Casey's in trouble, and just like that, he'll have to get it back going. Missing pit road. Carter Casey is in trouble, and he's burning this one down. He's not going to try to get it going just yet, and now he is. Or is he? No, Carter Casey's still burning it down on the circuit. I'm not sure what they're going to say about this one. Casey is still burning it down. He's not going to get back on the track, and it looks like now he's got no choice. Carter Casey back on his way. That's a bit confusing. Number 35 not there. The 65 just passed by. And Casey in a load of trouble that time by as he gets it back on his way. 31 laps to go. The yellow flag will not wait for him as we come down the backstretch. Looking back 1 minute ago, the number one machine of Carter Casey now 1 lap down after missing his pit stall and missing pit road in his entirety. Number one tries to back it down and back it in. Does not work. He'll slide it right back up the track, and it goes from there. So the synopsis is he spins and spins a bit more there. We'll get it back to the live feed as Casey now going to be 1 lap down and coming back to pit road. No yellow flag called for that. 30 laps to go. It is Alec Daffin leading the way, and Rick Spencer Walt there in a second. Just like that, back on the move. Very little will stop these drivers now as they try to run it down to the final few laps. Checkered flag will fall sometime as soon as Rick Spencer Walt comes down to pit road, and he knows that sooner better than later for pit road. He's got to make his move, and quick. Now going to be a 28 lap stint put to bed. He'll have a 29er to finish this race off. Alec Daffin now going to stay out on his lonesome out in the front of the field. Jordan Parker still there, going to be slowly but surely chased down though by Tigner, only 2 seconds back if he is, and making more ground as we continue to watch. 99 machine now within 1.5 seconds each and every lap. He gets quicker. That time by only about faster by 6/100ths of a second. So maybe they are flattening out, but that number 65 in a bit more trouble than he'd like to be with the gaining that now number 99 has done. He'll have to consider coming down the pit road a bit sooner than later. The Vinny Tigner strategy might be a better one to follow than the Carter Casey strategy in terms of the GM Racing guys, but the best of the best so far has, of course, been Alec Daffin. And Daffin, with 28 laps remaining, still finds himself out in front. A phenomenal run so far for this number 48. Nobody running on his level. He's been above par throughout the entirety of this race, simply nobody on the level of this 48, and it has been showing. 27 now laps remain, with Jordan Parker still in second. He's got a second and a half over Tigner, and Vinny is still gaining at least a bit more. Kyle Jackson going to be there in fourth. Rick Spencer going to be in fifth. Carter Casey going to be there in sixth. Position number 6 going to be held by that Carter Casey machine 2 laps down. The number 1 machine is, and it looks like he'll still keep on racing. All he'll need though is a yellow flag as Vinny Tigner makes it down a pit road. This time through, Kyle Jackson flies by, but it looks like the number 99 comes down for his final stop of the night. Vinny Tigner is indeed in, and Alec Daffin might be the next man up. 48 machine, 88 laps in, looks to keep it on the track at least one more time around as he leads us down to the 25 lap to go marker here in Kentucky Speedway. How about this? Alec Daffin been oh so good all night long. Nobody else on his level as he keeps this thing going quite well. 89 laps in. Kyle Jackson now going to be down a pit road, and it's going to be Carter Casey flying by. The 96 is down up pit road at the same time. Jordan Parker now going to be on his way very soon. Parker finds himself in the second spot, but he is losing more and more time than before in the 34-second lap range, and almost losing 3 seconds a lap compared to his very best. So Parker, this time by, looks to choose to stay on the track, but not by all too much. Jackson now on pit road with Alec Daffin still leading them around. Alec Daffin going to be able to take it down the backstretch once again with only 2 drivers on the lead lap, last of which is Jordan Parker, and Parker looks to stay on the circuit that time around. So just like that, with 90 laps in the books, Alec Daffin stays on the circuit until now. Daffin is in, and just like that, the 48 makes it down a pit road, and he'll find himself down there on his lonesome with Jordan Parker now following him in the exact same way. Alec Daffin with 23 laps to go will make his way in, and just like that, the money stop is here, and it is now. Jordan Parker comes in at the same time, and we got 2 of your drivers in the lead lap going in at once. Now, Rick Spencer Walt's got one final chance to make this one happen, and he's 9 seconds away. The battle for the lead continues, and now it's going to be Daffin versus Spencer Walt all over again. Daffin going to be coming out this time by. What's he got in store? He'll be out, but he'll be out pretty far back. It's going to be a gap of over 5 seconds. However, Daffin last time by did claw back a gap of 9, so it could be enough. We'll see whether or not Daffin's got what it takes, as with 23 laps to go, 22 is up next, and you know what that means. Live on FTN, cranking it up with the best cameras on the iRacing platform, uninterrupted as always, cranking it up. 22 laps to go, courtesy of Track Cams for Gormits at trackcams22.com. And with only 18 laps to go here in Kentucky, it is still Rick Spencer-Walt out in front, but that gap, it is shrinking. It's going to be Alec Daffin right now in that second spot, only 4 seconds behind. As you all have been tuned in with us all night long, you might know that Alec Daffin came in only 6 seconds behind compared to his first run heroics of 9 seconds. A claw back tonight. It looks like the claw back has been his big move. He only finds himself now 3.9 seconds away with 17 remaining. Time might be running out as 97 laps in. The 97 machine still leads the way. It's still all about that number 97 as they work their way down the backstretch. Nobody else in contention quite like the 97 just yet. He's still there inside the leading spot, but 3 seconds remain with Alec Daffin chasing him as hard as he can, using up all that he has. Up and down the ladder, it's been all about these top 2 drivers, but Alec Daffin has simply been the quickest of which. Now with 16 laps remaining, Rick Spencer-Walt has a chance to come home with victory. He's going to have to defend for his life on a 6-lap older set of tire, and with still over 15 laps left remaining, it might not be enough to get that win. However, it has been absolutely the best performance the number 97 could have asked for out of his season, at least to this point. 5 drivers on your lead lap right now. Going back to Alec Daffin there in second and Vinny Tigner in third. Top 3 drivers remain within 15 seconds, and then Kyle Jackson 22 seconds back has 1 driver chasing him, that man being Jordan Parker. And Parker having his best run on raw pace, looking for what will be his first top 5 finish in his career if the night ends the way it would be right now. And there's a strong shot that's the way it does indeed go. Rick Spencer-Walt out in front with 15 laps remaining, has himself going to the triple digits this time by lap 100, and the gap between your top 2 is only 2 seconds. It's the 48 of Alec Daffin there in the second position, gaining more and more time, and he knows that win number 1 could be within touching distance if he just keeps on going, and tonight might be the best chance for him to keep going for a win. Just gotta push to that limit, and that's what he's been doing. Last time by, he was about 0.7 of a second faster, and this time looks to be all the same. Consistency and speed, the 2 big things you need to gain that lead, and he's been using both of which to his advantage. Now Daffin gonna be there in second, Rick Spencer-Walt there in first. Top 2 drivers going to be now leading this battle with a baker's dozen remaining, and they're coming up on lap traffic as well in Carter Casey. Could the lap machines play a factor in this lead battle, or will it all be natural? That remains to be seen as pace is falling for your top 2 guys. Tire wear coming into play, but Alec Daffin now only about a half a second away, and he's got himself a real good shot to make it happen within the next 2 cycles. 102 laps in, it's Daffin out in front in that number 48 in the second spot. Rick Spencer-Walt right there as well, and now coming down the back, the closing distance, it is clear. Daffin making it closer and closer. Off the back bumper though, Rick Spencer-Walt, he's still got himself a bit of an edge, but Daffin has the speed at a 3 and 4, coming right up on Carter Casey. The line's gonna get blocked just a bit, but he's still quicker. Now Daffin's going forward, and he's got a good shot. 11 laps remaining, and coming through, it's going to be 11 to go indeed. Daffin's on that back bumper and getting very close. Take a look at that gearbox camera showing you how close they are as they come side by side down the back straightaway. This is the battle for the lead, and it could be the battle for the win. Daffin goes down low. Rick Spencer-Walt holds his head up high, takes his truck there as well. Now they're going to be side by side going for it all the way. 11 laps remaining in the Bluegrass 200. All comes down to this. Now it's Daffin leading with 10 laps to go. What a move this could be if Daffin just clears them. He hasn't been able to do just that, and now it looks like he has. Daffin with 10 laps left now finds himself out in front with the lead. He's made it clear that he wants this one and wants it the most. Rick Spencer-Walt hangs tough there in second, but not close enough just yet to that top spot. Up and down night for the Alec Daffin machine. Now he's got himself there in first, looking to get it done as he comes down to the single digits as as a leader. No other driver has been as good as he's been all night long. This is a night that it is all made of for the number 48. Dreams are made of this, and he's got himself a good shot to come home as a winner. Looking further on back, Vinny Tigner going to be there in third. Kyle Jackson going to be there in the fourth spot, and Jordan Parker going to be in fifth. Going to be Carter Casey, position number 6, 2 laps down right now, and it looks like he's right there with the number 97 and the number 48 as they continue to race each other. 8 laps to go. Daffin building an edge, and for Shaw Racing looking for this win. It has been impossible to find all season long to this point, but this could be the night where he breaks through, and Daffin making his way around once again, knowing this could be the breakthrough night. It has been everything he has needed, at least to this point. He's just got to make it around 7 more times up in front to seal the deal and come home as a winner. Right now, Rick Spencer, well, half a second out, being chased down by the number 1 machine. Remainder of the field is still going strong. All these guys fighting as hard as they can. It has been a performance of a lifetime for the number 97. It just doesn't seem he's got enough to come home with the checkers as a winner. The 97 Rick Spencer won a great race, that's for certain, and it could be a sign of things to come. Keep an eye out for this 97 as we have one more intermediate on the schedule in Homestead Miami Speedway. And we come down to there, it could be a new and improved 97. This is the best he's looked all season long, and he's looking even better every time that we see him. Vinny Tigner right now is going to be in third. It's now Kyle Jackson there in fourth, and then Jordan Parker in fifth. Heading back down to Alec Daffin, who's in the top spot, 108 laps in. He'll make it a flat 5 this time by and take him down the start-finish line in style. Take a look at this. The 48's up in front, and he's got himself a good shot to stay that way. 5 laps to go in the Bluegrass 200, and the grass has been greener on this side of the fence for Alec Daffin. That is for certain. 109 laps in, Daffin, the pure domination it's been for him. He's needed a chance like this to go to victory lane, and if he does win, it's absolutely going to be the biggest win he's had in this league. The final full race. For a while there, it looked like he would have to go in on points. Now, breaking through that barrier, it could be the night he's needed as the number 48 finds himself out in front by over a second. Take a look at this. Rick Spencer Wall blinks just a bit in the back, all as well as they come through once again. 110 laps in, and Alec Daffin still has himself in touching distance. Now going to be Kyle Jackson in the fourth spot, and Jordan Parker looking for his first top 5 finish of his career right there in fifth. 5 drivers on the lead lap, and with 3 laps to go, the Fisher Studios machine finds itself out in front. It is Alec Daffin there in first in the number 48. 3 laps remaining as they work their way down the backstretch. Nothing more can be said or done as they make it through. It's all about precision and care for what these guys got. It looks like Daffin's got himself in a good spot. He'll keep it right there. It's Daffin now making it 2 laps to go with Rick Spencer, well, there in second. Vinny Tigner going to be in third, and Kyle Jackson going to be in third. For only a moment, he fades back to fourth. Now Jordan Parker right there with them in fifth as they haul their way down. And once again, now Jordan Parker might be in jeopardy of being lapped here. Daffin, not too far behind, might take another in, and the domination from Daffin will know no limits if indeed that comes out to be the case. Coming around this time by to make it a 1 lap to go. It's Alec Daffin, and the white flag falls here in Kentucky Speedway for a man who's gone through everything and then some to get a win so far this season. Through the highs and the lows, Alec Daffin, ever the competitor, has known this is going to be his last season in this league for quite some time, but he's wanted to go out with a bang, and what a bang it would be to get this win to push him into the final 4 in Homestead. Working through turns 3 and 4, this time by. How's about this for Shaw Racing in the number 48? Alec Daffin wins for the first time this season and gets it done in the Bluegrass 200 in a dominating performance. Kentucky Speedway's got a new owner, and it's Alec Daffin here in the Fisher Studios Truck Series. Alec Daffin gets it done in a phenomenal performance, and he's already put there on the wall and gets back on his way. What a win this is for the Daffin machine as the 48 gets it done in a big-time performance. Alec Daffin beats Rick Spencer Watt by 2 seconds with Vinny Tigner there in third, 15 seconds back. Then going to be Kyle Jackson in fourth, Jordan Parker in fifth, Carter Casey laps down to sixth, and then Michael Deitch, your first retiree, 59 laps down. Going to be Landon Charlo in 8th, rookie of the race eventually, and then James Thurston in 9th, 85 down, as it looks like Daffin is already disconnected from the session just like that. Nevertheless, the number 48 machine comes out on top, and he's been looking for a victory oh so long. Finally able to claw one in and bring it home for Shaw Racing and the number 48 team. How about that for Daffin? And it looks like he's already done celebrating this one. So we'll get a word from the man who got it done here for the first time this season. Absolutely what he is needed, and he gets it at the perfect time. The 48 comes home on top in the Bluegrass 200, winning at the end of the hard-fought action, 113 laps deep. And with all that said and done, Alec Daffin, 18 races through, and the number 48 brings home its first win of the season in a perfect time to lock into the Final Four battle. How do you feel after a dominating win here in Kentucky Speedway?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get one. I mean, obviously, it was not a car feeling. A little bit of strategy was involved with it. I mean, I feel like me and Vinny were kind of equal in speed, being the fastest cars. So I feel like I still could have won on straight up speed there. And yeah, a lot of the big dogs weren't in here, but you know what? Still, we had the chance. We rose up to the occasion, so we'll take it. It's been a good season. We just haven't had that breakthrough yet, but finally got it here. So we'll take it how we can get,
Absolutely looking for that breakthrough, and tonight it came for the number 48 camp, and it looks like from start to finish, absolutely on top of the strategy calls. That was the biggest thing tonight, even despite quite a few yellow flags, even a bit more than usual, and we say that a bit lightly, only 2 nevertheless. However, able to make it work very well with the strategy. So what was the big thing in having it all pieced together?
Definitely a strategy. I mean, obviously we had to be fast. I guess Rick and Jordan were on the same strategy with me there, and then Rick actually stayed with me because first I didn't realize he was on that strategy of pin on the last caution, but I pulled a couple seconds on Vinny and Cal and all them, and he stayed with me. So, I mean, yeah, at the end there, he pulled a big undercut on me, but I fit 6 laps later, so I was able to get back in front of him, which definitely was a big thing. And then obviously we had the incident there with Michael Deitch about halfway through the race, and I don't know. I mean, I could have backed out there, but it's he kind of slipped into me and cut me off. So sorry he got wrecked. But I'm just holding my line there, so sucks to happen. But ultimately that caution kind of made the race for me because I was on 10 lap older tires up until then. Kind of flipped the script. I was on 8 to 10 lap fresher tires after that. We went green to the end, so that was probably the turning point of the race right there. And we just had to take care of business from there on out.
And able to take care of business to come home with your first win of the season. Now, this is, I believe, the only doubleheader week we are intending to have on the season. Saturday night, we're going to be back to the racing, and it's going to be at Phoenix Raceway. Now, you're already locked into the Final Four. What is the goal going into your next race on the schedule?
Definitely just take some momentum to Homestead. On points. We should, especially with the low car counts beginning, we should basically be locked in. Don't know who else is going to show up there without things have been lately, unfortunately. But I usually run well at Phoenix. Trucks aren't my best car there, but we can just be prepared and be mistake free. I think we could have a shot another win. I don't know if we'll have the IRAT speed for it, but we'll go try our best and see if we can back this up.
And backing it up is going to be the name of the game. Next, we get Phoenix, and getting the win this time by Alec Daffin comes home with the victory here in the Bluegrass 200 at Kentucky Speedway. Any final thoughts after this win? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, thank you for doing the broadcast. I know on a Thursday it's not ideal for anyone, so thank you for doing that. Thanks to everyone for coming out for the race. And yeah, like I said, I mean it's kind of not our normal day, so but hey, I mean we got enough people for a race tonight at least. See, thank you, Shaw Racing Products, Fisher Studios, Jordan Parker, and congrats to Jordan on his first top 5 of the season. I believe it's his first top 5. And yeah, I think that's it.
And there we have it, Alec Daffin, nothing short of dominance here, working the strategy very well in Kentucky Speedway for a win in the Bluegrass 200. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, David. Have a good one.
And we're going to run the ad reel before we get some interviews in. Looks like second and third are not yet ready, so we'll run some. And in the case we get some interviews, stick around. We're looking to get one or two more. Alec Daffin wins. It is right after him. Going to be then Rick Spencer-Walt in second and Vinny Tigner in third. Give us just a moment. We'll be right back. In the case we don't get an interview, we'll wrap up the broadcast immediately thereafter. Thank you all for your time so far. We'll be right back, and hopefully we'll be back with some good news and some good word from your second and third place finishers, Rick Spencer-Walt and Vinny Tigner.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And it appears we do have word from one of our drivers. However, it won't be one from the podium. Nevertheless, great to have him on board. So let's get in your first top 5 finish of the season for the man in the number 65, Jordan Parker, coming home with his first career top 5 in this series. Getting it done here and fit in the Bluegrass 200. How you feeling after this one?
It's on a technicality because we had a couple of incidents, but a top 5 is a top 5 in my book, and I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
And able to get something real good out of this one, able to outlast the field, and that's what matters in the game of chess we saw here in Kentucky. What was the big thing to get you up in the top 5? Because it seems like even at the end there, you had some pretty good pace to stay with the better of them until that final pit stop running in the thick of it, and even the podium as the night was getting into its final few laps.
This race was mainly ran on strategy, and I was up to Alec and his strategy. I was equal with him all race, and he was kind of helping me out to figure out the strategy that I needed to kind of get a better finish, and it worked out the way I was hoping it would. That top 3 run I was having, I knew it wasn't going to last when it came to that last stop, but overall it was a really good race, and I'm just ready to move on to Phoenix and see what else I can do.
And with 2 races left, one is still very soon, almost directly ahead of us. Saturday night, going to be another race, Phoenix Raceway. What's the game plan to round out this season after your best finish in the league so far?
I think it's just looking at the same way that when we did going into Kentucky, is just going in with strategy in mind, putting it into play, and hoping that it works out in our favor, just like it did tonight, coming out with a top 5 and maybe even a top 3.
And always chasing more, the number 65 sets another career best marker with a top 5 finish here in the Bluegrass 200. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for putting on this broadcast. I know that you do a lot for us in SCRL. Congrats to Alec on his first win of the season. I know that was hard fought. I've been rooting him on all night, hoping he would get it, and it turned out. So thanks to Cameron for what he does with SCRL and all the admins and everybody who does show up and puts in the effort to show up to these races. I know it's been a field size drop from what we're used to towards the beginning of the season, but it means a lot to the people who do show up and who do actually want to race.
And there we have it. One of the guys who wants to race week after week, always giving us a good show. It's Jordan Parker coming home with his first career top 5 in the Stock Car Racing League. How about this one for the Fisher Studios machine? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And there we have it. Does not appear we'll be getting word from our other drivers in this field. So with that being said, Jordan Parker comes home 5th, and Alec Daffin comes home with a win here in the Bluegrass 200. Gotta thank you all for watching live on FTN tonight. I've been your host, David Kreutz. Great to be aboard with you, and we will be back very soon. It's gonna be a great race at Phoenix on Saturday night. We'll be back in full swing on FTN next week. I believe we got something cooking up with the 4-World Cup Series on Wednesday night. Going to be another great race there, and you'll be seeing me a lot more, hopefully, in Marconi Entertainment, doing more broadcasts on the Monday Night Swing until the Integrity Racing League returns on July 11th with a special event, the All-Star Race, with a special guest. Would love to bring more information when available. So with that being said, going to thank all our viewers for watching once again. From our studio to your homes, we hope you enjoyed this presentation, and we hope to see you once again on FTN.